Hello guys, it's Lazy Leaf here once again with another video. This time I'm going to look at blending. I'm going to make something. I am kind of unwell. You might hear me cough and sniffle as join the as I go through this, and sorry my dog's barking in the background there. But um, this one because my head kind of hurts to kind of do anything original. I'm kind of gonna do something based off a mod guy called Stemple's doing, and I'm just going to kind of do the same, a little bit of the same, and then kind of verge off and kind of do my own take on it really. I'm gonna start off with a cube. I don't really care about the size of it for now. I'm just gonna shape into the rough dimensions that I want. Oh, so like this. What is that? Let's see. So let's round it up to because we can always resize this later as long as it's roughly the right size. And that can just be one because I don't care about that. Cool. So we're going to make a frame first and do this. I'm just going to inset the two faces. We want something like this. I'm then going to just shrink on the Z axis. Just get it roughly even. I don't need to be exactly precise, as long as it's within sort of visual. I'm going to press X, delete the faces. But it's just a case of selecting the two edge loops and using the context menu to bridge the edge loops. That gives us this. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to make a divot here and a sticky out thing here. And for this, we're going to um, put in an edge loop there. I'm then going to put an edge loop halfway. I'm then going to just straighten these out with a SY0 because it's along the y-axis. And then let's see, I'm gonna get another one, something like this. Let's put that there because for some reason I'm just completely out of it and I'm forgetting what mirror is. So I'm just gonna delete all that stuff. Let's get a mirror modifier on here. There we go. Okay, and now we're going to look at making our divot. So we might as well start off. Just grab this and lower this down. We kind of see what it looks like. We probably want to make this a little bit smaller, so I might as well bring it up this way a bit, something maybe like that. Then what we probably want to do is kind of have the divot at the top kind of match this, so I'm going to bring it out a bit. Excuse me. So SY0. And then I want to match this up with this. The easy way of doing this is to put on vertex snapping, constrain it to the y-axis, and then we just need to highlight that, and it's in place, and happy days there. Then what we're going to want to do is to do the same thing, but we're going to want to do it with this here, and then it's just going to be a case of grabbing that and moving it down a bit. So something like that. Maybe not that much down. We want it to be relatively equal. What have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a bit. So a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so roughly like that. Excuse me. And we're gonna have doors that kind of come out. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. So I'm going to use this, I think. So I'm going to have glass here probably. So what we're going to do is get some edge loops along here so we can whatever, etch out a thing there if we want a little bit. I'll do it. Anyway, let's do it. And because it's all the way shaped, we're just going to do Alt E, and we're going to extrude faces along normals, and this means that we can extrude it along, well, it's normals, which is the direction the normals point. And we only need to go in a little bit, so we can make small adjustments to things if we want. So we don't want that to go below. We kind of want it like this. Raise it up a little bit, because this does not have to be perfectly accurate by any means. Well, we want to just adjust it. Now, when it comes to here, when you do, like, excuse me, corners and even corners, you'll see that one side usually extrudes more than the other and things like that. So I might as well make that line up there. And if we make this line up here as well, then it's going to be the same, so it doesn't matter. That can line up with that. And that can line up with that. Okay, now we have a little bit of a trough all the way around. You can kind of see that there. And we'll sort out things like the faces appearing later when we join these together. Excuse me. All we need to do is now, because that's basically the frame shape, we need to get some bells on it. We don't want these corners to look like this because it looks pretty terrible. So the first thing I'm going to do is do that one, because we're going to do the middle one slightly differently. We're going to have a bigger bevel on the outside than on the inside. Make sure it's all selected around. Make sure that our transforms are set, which they are. Sorry, now they are even. Excuse me. And Control B. And because we've got a pretty thing at the bottom here, pretty close, I'm going to press C to constrain it, so I can't physically make it go past that point. Just makes it a little bit easier. And I'm thinking, because it's a doorway and we want this bit to be the walkway, that I am going to have it going pretty much like that. So we're going to do that there. So we've got something like that. Okay, what I then want to do is to make sure that that hasn't left any duplicate geometry down there, because we kind of shrunk it on top of the other. So we're going to merge by distance, and it has automatically joined it. Or has it? No, there is a tiny gap there. It just wasn't close enough. So what I'm going to do is just manually move that down. And we're going to have this its own nice little edge here. Oh dear. Something like that. Up at the top is fine. And now I can end by distance, and it removes the 4 vertices. What we're going to do then is to select this. We are going to select that bit as well. We'll do the same on the other side, even though technically I could be mirroring this as well. But there we go. Excuse me. All I'm going to do here is going to do another series of bevels. This time it's just to give this definition. So if we look at this, it looks pretty sharp and gnarly. So we're just going to bevel this again. And so C is still on, so we can't. I turned it off then. So C is still on, so we get quite a bit of leeway. But we want this really small, and we want to get a couple in here, a couple of extra loops, get it down nice and small, something like that. Right, and then what will happen is that has gotten a lot softer there, and it should be fine on both sides there. Yep, we're going to do the same on the inside edge, but nowhere near as. Oh, sorry, we need to do this one. Yeah. So this edge next. Yeah, give this a nice little bevel. This one's pretty much going to be identical to the previous bevel, so something like that. There we go. Now we have that nice soft edge, and you can see it kind of catches the light there. On the interior side, we are going to do a very small bevel. This is an edge that people aren't really going to see, aside from maybe like here, but it's not going to matter. But we're going to do a bevel, and we're going to do like a slightly larger normal bevel. I think something like that. So it's going to catch the light pretty easily. Um, Something like that. Okay, now the next thing we need to do is to soften out the corners and to decide what we're doing here and also here. Because again, we don't want to leave it like this, as we've got that harsh edge there. So we'll do this corner first. We can just select this. Excuse me. We'll bevel the entire thing. We can deselect this and this. We should be okay. And what this will do is it'll when we bevel this, it normally creates like a square or something here. We don't want to have the outside because I don't want this section to curve. I just want this middle bit, and then we'll kind of fix the geometry that happens here in a little bit. I am going to have the top the same as the bottom though, so I am going to do both of these at the same time, just for ease of it. Okay, so let's put a nice bevel in here now. So as you can see, it kind of comes out. And we're going to put a reasonable amount of geometry on this, just because it's going to be that sort of curve. Don't want anything too massive, but I'm thinking something like that. And the same has happened in the top corner there. Let's auto smooth that, so it looks pretty alright. Getting a little bit of weirdness with the shading here, so there are ways to fix that later, but we don't need to worry about it just yet. Oh dear. Excuse me. But I do quite like that there. The only thing we've got to do now is basically sort this out. So this is creating a bit of an end-on. It's really easy. We've still got our thing selected, and I can just snap it to the corner, and that will do perfectly fine for us. Something like that. And then by distance, remove 4 vertices, fantastic. And the next thing I want to do is decide what I'm going to do with this edge here. So I'm going to select that. In this case, I do want to select all of it around because I want to make sure that, I mean, I could collapse it into there. I could do that. It's not going to save a lot exactly, so there's not a whole lot of point because this model should be fine. I'm going to do the same on here as well. Let's bevel this, and I can either have it nice and soft and gentle, or I can have it quite harsh. Now, I'm thinking relatively soft. It doesn't need to be as high res as the corners because they're much softer. Thinking something like that maybe. Oh, excuse me. So we have some weirdness here just because of the size of it. So I'm going to undo that. And that's going to be because that's going around there. So that's fine. What we're going to do instead is do this. And then we'll see if this makes it easier to fix geometry. Excuse me. something like this. Okay. So look in here, it's just pulled it to there. There's probably things we can merge there. Let's have a look. Like stretching an awful lot of stuff there though, which I don't like. Let's undo that. So what I might do, because this is so small anyway, if I select that entire thing, SY0, let's straighten this out. And let's do it like that. This should be better. You can hear Leanne there in the background, the misses. Okay, there we go. That's much better. And so now that I know that, let's do this. We'll fix the other geometry in just a second. Oh, excuse me. That does create a bit of that. Okay. But that's because that goes to there. So what we're going to do with this one, I think, it really needs to come to, I mean, it's technically not wrong, but at the same time, it's annoying. Oh dear. Let's have a look. It's because it's kind of merging into that one, and this is the fourth one. So at that point, is there an easy way of doing this? Okay. If I do instead something like that. Let's see how that bevels like that. So it's going to be any easier. Still going to leave a little bit of, you know, okay, still going to leave a little bit there. Get rid of that bevel again. Oh dear. Excuse me. Da, 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 da. Bevel that on its own. Cut that one. Bevel these on their own. Yeah. Everything. Yep. I'm gonna have to do that one, just make that a bit wider. Okay, actually pretty much like this. Okay, and let's have a look here. So let's grab this, let's dissolve that edge around here. Dissolve edge. Excuse me. what I really need to do is just have it merge pretty much here. Right. If I do that, I need to switch that off for this. Also, let's do this so I can see. We're going to keep it roughly the same as these, although I am going to need to fix that first. Let's make sure all these are relatively straight. It's a lot easier to sort that out then. Oh dear. Right. So we're going to keep roughly the same distance away. Yeah, almost. Oh dear. And that connects to there. Right, let's see what that did. It might have messed up one side over the other. And let's put a little bit of extra geometry in the middle. That's not an issue. Because we literally just need to dissolve vertices, to be honest. Snap that back. Snap. There you go. Laziness. Distance merge. There you go. Okay. So now we have an edge that pretty much looks fine. Smashing. So that's going to be the design for the frame. I think the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a bit of bevel around the outside. Actually go to the real side, that'd be great. And that's just because I don't, although this side is normally going to be against the wall, I want like the ever tiniest thing. And this is going to come back and kick my ass because of this here. So I'm probably going to not do that there. We'll figure this out. It's only a tiny, tiny bevel. Switch that off. Turn that back. So we're looking at literally something like this. Oh, as I say, I had that selected. Not good. Okay. We're looking at something literally like this. That will go around. And that's something that is pretty much only going to be noticeable when you're like staring at it for some reason. Yeah, it'll do. Let's apply this so we can removed, go to thingy mode, delete the faces. if any have formed in weird places. Then you can then normally merge. Let's see what's holding this up. Dissolve edges, fantastic. Dissolve edges, fantastic as well. Let's see, let's look at statistics. Under 6,000 triangles, not bad. This is going to be, well, it is quite a big door, but we'll shrink it down to our appropriate size. But our limit's probably going to be like at least 20,000 sort of thing. So we've got a lot of wiggle room, shall we say. Excuse me. Next, let's make ourselves a cube. It's shrunken down. So we're going to get two things here. Something like this. Doesn't need to be that accurate because it's just going to be like glass. Something like this. You know, let's see, really, we want it to be. Yeah, let's say something like this. You can also generate a mirror on that as well. For this is going to be double paned, and what we're going to do is just go in there and delete the edges we're not going to use, which is going to be that one, and that one. Just get rid of the faces, even edges. That's going to leave us with just these. I am going to make this thinner. Just do this a minute. Okay. Let's bring this like mostly middle. Turning that off would help. Excuse me. Okay, so our glass plane is going to be center. Because while we're at it, we can just do that as well and get it projected off on the other side. So we could do all four sides at once, pretty much. So now that we've got our glass, what we're going to do is, well, I don't even know, it should be glass. Yeah, we'll keep it as glass. So what I'm going to do is shrink it down a little bit. Set origin first to geometry, so I can shrink it down on its own, and then set the origin back to the 3D cursor, so I get these back. So we're going to keep it pretty thin. We might make it a little bit thicker than that, to be fair. Something, yeah, like that. Okay, cool. So now that's like that. The next thing I want to do is to make something which the glass will look like it slots into. So we're going to make something that follows the edge of this all the way around. We're going to do, oh, excuse me. I've turned that off actually. I'll get that. That would help. stuff there. That is basically what we need. What we could do is, if I did, oh well, that's pretty much spot on that. And then it would have to be, let's do like 4 because I'm lazy. 4, and then let's grab 1, 2, 3, sort of edges, and then we're going to do think, pray, and think. Yeah, we'll see how it goes first. So we're going to grab these two. We're going to grab this all on actually. And we just don't want the middle bit selected, which is this. Which is this. Okay. Oh, I did actually want that bit selected there. Ah, it's fine. Let's extrude face along normal, so we can just tease all of this out just a little bit. I probably should just do another edge loop there, edge loop there. Delete this side, just so I can not. So I do less stuff. Okay. And in fact, we're just gonna go like fine, pretty much. Let's turn that off. I need to do the outside here. Okay. Okay. And then that just needs to be knife cut. Anyway, well, there we go. So now then, going back to this. Excuse me. What we're gonna do is right, I'm going to make another edge loop and bring it over here because I do want this to be closed, and I should have done it before, but I didn't. So I'm gonna grab that there, and then we're gonna do pretty much peak laziness. We're gonna delete these faces, and then actually a better idea would be just go to grab those, press F to fill the void. Okay, there we go. So now we have it. What I want to do is to make all of this less harsh. It doesn't have to be mega or anything, but these need to be beveled. Something like this. It doesn't particularly matter that much about what angle these are and stuff, but that will do pretty nicely. For this, it's probably going to be fine. Just pop that there, pop that there. There's me. And let's pop that there. Let's triangulate that. We'll do the same here. Okay. That doesn't like that. That's fine. Really? Ugh, excuse me. There we go. It's more like it. Okay. Doesn't appear to like over here, does it? There we go. That'll be fine. Okay, shading looks alright. So, now I want this to be um, relatively soft. And has that selected all of it? Oh, I need to do up there as well before I do this. So, excuse me. Let's do that there. Let's delete this. Eh. Yep. Okay. And then this is going to need its own bevel on it. And again, we can just kind of do this. That's not bad. Let's just 12 vertices. Interesting. Okay. Take rid of that. Back to this. And then let's see if this one will let us be all nicey nice about it. Yeah, smashing. There's one. That's two. Let's select all of this here. I'm going to select all of this. Let's go to here. Select this little bit at the bottom. Okay, and then we're going to bevel this. And this time we're going to do, oh, excuse me, let's see. Oh, it would help if I was keep C on. Do I want it something like this, where I could have it like a nice flat thing, or do I want it like rounded? I mean, this you can do. You can do custom and stuff as well. So, something like that. So you can kind of do that. We don't need that much if I'm doing it like that, but I am thinking more of a I am thinking more of a round profile just to give everything that bit of we want it relatively close there. Right, let's do it like that. So it's gonna look when we're looking at it, it looks like this is on. So what we're gonna do is to put screws up around the side of this. So this is gonna be like metal. I've left this tiny little edge there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that as like a rubber material. something. We'll see when it comes to texturing that anyway. Okay. Oh dear. So that's going to be like that. Um, what else do I want to do here? Let's make. Let's look at making a door or two doors even. Um, so it only needs to be like this. Gonna go something like this. It would help if I had actually done that, wouldn't it? So what we want is you to kind of come out. Let's shrink that down a bunch. We only want it to be something that fits in here, but we do want it to be almost as wide, something like that. A nice thick door. So if we get this pretty much aligned with that, um, what am I doing? Don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Let's get that roughly in place. So the question is, where do we want this to be? So I'm thinking pretty much a little bit of an overlap, but basically here, um, something like that. If I generate a mirror here on the Y, and then we're going to want to. We don't really want anything weird. Also, we wouldn't merge that. Wouldn't want anything weird. So this get beveled. I'm not like that, but set the scale and stuff first. Something kind of like that. Okay, that would mean that they'd meet together like that, which I always do like. If I turn that off a minute, we're going to do this because the door popping out is something that's going to be seen pretty much. So we are going to do a bit of beveling and stuff on the edges, only a little bit, mind. Actually, if I do that, well, it's not really going to be seen at the top, so I don't really need to bother that much. It'll mainly be seen at the bottom, especially if the door only opens like that. So that's fine. We won't bother doing the top part. That can be left as is, and we'll just kind of do here. But we don't need to do that because that's never leaving the ground. And we'll do the back edge separately. So I'm going to give this a quick bevel, only like a 3, really tiny, just so the edge kind of has a bit more of a bit of substance to it. I don't really need to bevel anything else because this is inside this track here, or should be. So it'll never really be seen. So technically I didn't really need to bevel that, but it doesn't really matter. And just remind me of this edge cannot be deleted, and so can that because they're never going to be seen. We need to keep this back edge because that is going to be seen, and this does need to be beveled, but it's only something basic. Ooh, could I do a little cheeky? Yeah, I'll do a little cheeky thing on it. Something like that. Excuse me. Okay. So that's going to cheekily curve around there. Um, off a Y there. So that's kind of going to look like that. At some point, we need more detail on the door, and I still don't know. I might actually go back and sort this edge out here at some point, just because. Yeah, I don't know. If you're looking at it from this way, it looks all right. Might have made the bevel too big. We'll see. I'll test it in game and have a look at some point. Um, okay. So the next thing I want is to add um, more more details to it. The main thing we're going to focus on is the glass. So if you ever see like glass in trains or literally anywhere, it's never like a sharp edge, and there's usually some kind of protective method or something there. In this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bevel this, um, bevel this, and hit C so we can just do this. We're gonna kind of do it like this. So a reasonable amount of things there. We're gonna round the edge off. Okay. And then what we're gonna do is, excuse me. Let's just zoom in on this. What we're gonna do is extrude faces along normals, like a tiny little last bit. We're going to ask ourselves why it has done this down the center, instead of just merging them, but it's like whatever. This needs to be pretty thin. We're going to go something like this. So all I'm going to do is merge these two together. Like that, I'm just going to choose collapse or to center. Never mind, I'm just going to do to center then. There we go. I'll do the same up at the top here. There you go. And this is going to be, we're going to do rubber again at the end there. Let's just wait, normal, keep sharp. It being weird. Got the brain power for this sometimes. By distance remove 2. Is it that? I could do it as a seam, but let's save that for later. The basic thing is there. Oh, okay. So we're going to have probably shiny metal there. That'll be black going all the way up there. it'll catch the light though, so that'd be kind of cool, I think. In fact, let's just have a quick look at what it is, and then I might end this because I don't feel too good at all. Right, let's just get the asset library out. Materials. So we're going to grab ourselves. First of all, we're going to focus on this. We're going to get ourselves the painted metal colorable. And it's going to go pink because it's going to be asking to locate files, which is fine. Excuse me. We're then going to hit a plus here, hit a new. Let's get the rubber on that one. For this one, I am going to want to get all of this stuff here selected. Luckily, it's mostly selected from we had it last time, which is neat. Damn it. Okay, did that get all of it? I think it might. Let's have a quick look up here. I'm pretty sure it's going to miss a little bit. Yes, that one. Assign to that there. Okay. Actually, I was going to do this metal, wasn't I? Okay. That's not a problem. We're going to assign that there, and it's going to be metal dull, something like that. Okay. Yeah, let's go back to here. This is going to be made up of glass, so we're just going to go like 2 because we want this, which is going to be glass, clear glass. And then this here, which is going to be rubber. All plastic. We'll kind of see which one we like for that. Okay. Excuse me. I just want a bit there. That bit there. Assign rubber to it. Not rubber 001. I forgot I'd already thingied it, and I've been far too lazy with that. Okay. We're gonna do that. What we need to do now is file, external data, find missing files. Where will we keep material library? Find. Okay. Now let's select this. Might as well just do this the lazy way. Select the Smart UV project. It's the metal dull it's going to be, isn't it? Select. Okay. And that's basically that. We kind of figure out what we want to do with that. But yeah, that is as finished as far as I'm going today. So the idea is I get screws. I mean, I need to kind of neaten this up a little bit here. It's not really much of an issue because it's literally just doing the insides here. That one, putting it back into here. Oh, and the 2 up here, isn't it? Okay. let's grab that there. Circle around. Grab that there. Okay. Bevel this. And we want it to be pretty close, so it's gonna be something like this. Doesn't need to be mega because we're really not gonna see. It's just to close the gap a little bit, which is pretty much what it has done there. So there's still a gap, but that'll just kind of show up as shadow. The only bit is that, which if I just do this, yeah. So I can do it for the top as well. So we're just gonna not do that. Do that. Now do it. Just gonna shift this way a touch, and then yeah, I'll sort the vertices out. But that is, we'll definitely call it a day there. And then what I will actually do just before, I'll just get a let's get a sunlight. Which one am I? Yeah, this way. I'm being silly. Excuse me. Happy days. Let's grab a camera. Click active camera. View menu, camera to view. Just so I can really quick and dirty do this. What are my settings out here? Yeah. Icons. Sure. And we want where is it? I can never remember where film is. There we go. Transparent. F12. I need more light. Okay. I'll say 10. Why not? And might as well hide. Yeah, keep it as is. Anyway, guys, I hope you're all feeling better than I do. Take care. I'll do another video at some point. I might even just do the rest of this, or I don't know. See what I feel like.